Welcome to the haunt.
Oh yeah,
I'm Brick.
I'm Sheesha.
Let's go spooky.
You went from 20s to present day
Yeah.
emo girl.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Okay,
Now
good.
you know how my brain works. It's
That
constantly changing.
makes sense.
Yep.
Anyways, so we're gonna have a conversation today,
All right,
and
cool.
then after today's conversation, at some point, maybe next time, we'll see. We're gonna take a deep dive
Ooh, okay.
into one of these or multiple of these types of phenomenons
Okay.
that happen.
Okay. I'm interested. You've piqued my interest.
All right. So, how do you feel
Oh no.
about the staircases?
The staircases?
The staircases in the woods.
I kind of like them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think they're fun. I do.
Do you?
Yes.
Like,
I
you
do.
think they're interesting? Like,
Yeah, there's like a certain kind of like magical element to them, right?
mm,
I know there's creepy stories. I
yeah,
know. But
yeah.
like also,
You know, they think that these staircases that people see in like the woods and stuff are
yes.
like why so many people go missing in forest.
Yes. Yeah, because they go to the fairy realm. That's the theory, right?
No,
Oh, that's the
not
theory
the
I've
fairy
heard.
realm.
That's
but
the theory I've heard.
So I was looking into it, and I found this one from the travel magazine, this article.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like, it was a thing that was happening. People knew about it, but it kind of got brought back up in 2019 when someone posted on Reddit. The person, uh, says that they were, people that work in the forest.
The yep, what are they called?
It Forest rangers.
Rangers.
Yes.
Yep.
He claimed to be a ranger and forest ranger, and like he's seen these staircases and he's seen multiple.
Okay.
Multiple of them.
I mean, I said I like them. I would never go on one. If I saw it, I'd be like, nice to see you. Goodbye.
Well, in 2019, a Reddit user shared a story that at the time you would think it would be fake. Like
Okay.
it's just a straight fiction. But then it drew attention, and more people were saying, like, no, I saw these staircases in the forest as well.
There's some truth.
I saw it too, like, so maybe it's not, maybe it is like some people. I'm sure some people are trying to get attention and get clout, but I do believe people do see these staircases in the forest.
Yeah,
100%.
I believe it.
Like, there's no way. Someone said a simple explanation of the stairs in the woods phenomenon is these stairs that rise from the ground. These stairs rise from the ground and go up to the sky. The mysterious stairs are most often seen at night and look as if they were built in the woods out of nowhere. There is no other structure or building around them. Which some of them, yeah. Mm-hmm. There's like you can. It's like they popped up and then that's it. But then the other ones where it's like, okay, guys, come on, chill. You can tell that there was probably a house here.
Yeah.
Of some type. At some sort of.
Yes.
Yep. It's
Yep.
I mean, is it still scary to walk up on it when you weren't expecting to see one?
Yes, you do not walk on stairs you find in the woods. I feel like that's just kind of common sense.
So, from a practical point of view, they have an immediately conceivable utility. I don't know why they had to use so many big words in that sense.
Yep.
From a symbolic point of view, in literature, the concept of ladder also implies the concept of ascension.
Yes.
From one condition to another superior. So I can see,
See why it's like magical.
yes, there's a magical aspect
I'd
to
be
it.
very much more. I'd be a lot more worried if the stairs went down.
You think you could see them like that though?
I've
Like,
never heard of them being seen like that.
but I mean, like it could be seen like the stair. You can go up them, but you can also go down them. So like they say, let's say you were to climb up the stairs,
Yes.
you could go somewhere else,
Hmm.
or if you were to climb down the stairs and think come back down to the ground.
You're going down to somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you could go one of two ways.
You could.
You know.
Hmm.
Just wait. I have a story at the end.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay. His testimony concerns an American forest, and as we will see, many others come from the same geographic area. He explains how during rescue missions within the dense vegetation, it is not at all unusual to encounter stairs. Stairs that emerge from the trees which lead nowhere, standing alone and with unusually robust appearance. The man says the first time he was forbidden.
He was
He was
forbidden.
forbidden. So like his superiors, people that were there before him,
Okay.
because he was there. They said if
Who is this guy?
he didn't give a name.
Okay.
Just,
Just someone they were talking about
yeah,
on Reddit.
he was a guy on Reddit. Yeah,
Okay.
and he literally just like he was told by everyone else. Yeah, we all see the stairs too. Ignore them. Don't ever go on them.
Hmm.
Ignore them.
That's good advice.
And that's what they all. That's like a common thing. I mean, I guess forest rangers see these stairs quite often. I mean, when you're in the forest all the time,
Right. Right.
it's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Where is this forest? Do we know?
So there's a list. There's a list on this article on Travels Magazine article.
Hmm.
There's a list, and let me go get that list for you because there's
Alrighty.
quite a few of them in United States.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of surprising. I'm not
Oh,
sure
yeah.
why, but
Yeah.
are there any in Minnesota?
See, I didn't deep dive into any
Okay.
specific one. I was just
Gotcha.
I was
gotcha.
looking as like an overall concept,
Yes,
and it's
yes,
just to
yes.
see. But I got it. I found it. Could you? Thank you. I accept the cookies. Okay. So Mount Phnom Cooling.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Don't come at me. It's in Cambodia.
Okay.
Etruscan pyramid
Okay.
of Bamarosa in Italy.
Okay. Italy, got it.
The Vanishing Staircase, 1940s, USA.
Okay.
It says USA, so I'm assuming when I look deeper into one or multiple of these instances, whatever,
Yeah.
it'll give me better locations. But I was just getting a
Shasta?
don't play with me. Ghostly Staircase, Sweden.
Okay.
Madame Cherie's Stairs, USA.
Hmm.
The Staircase of Missing Time, Philippines. The Ranger's Creepy Stairs in the Forest, USA. Staircase Without a Destination, Germany. Stairs to Nowhere, USA.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, there's multiple
Yeah, like I've heard of
in
this
the
concept
USA.
before.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so have I, but I've never really
Yeah, same.
I'm like, oh, that's just creepy.
See, and I thought that's magical.
What?
I don't know. It is kind of interesting that there's stories like this from around the world and they just kind of pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, that's fascinating.
Well, what I think is also really weird too, which I bring up in the article, is the fact that staircase in the woods, they devoid of contacts and do not seem abandoned.
Oh, weird.
Because if you ever think about it, people are saying they are always well cleaned, free of vegetation or excrement of other animal remains.
Yeah, see, I think it goes to the fairy realm.
They are any material and shape, sometimes in stone. They seem very old, Other times they have a modern look and perhaps made of iron, like those that lead to the top of a lighthouse.
Okay.
So what don't get me on. I'm not sure how we keep doing this, but don't. Um, but that's weird though, like, cause it's like every time that I've seen people talk about it, like, yeah, there's nothing on these.
That's so
It's just a
weird.
staircase, and it looks clean.
Yeah, because the fairies are taking care of it.
Fairies aren't always nice, so I don't know.
That's true. That's why I say it's magical, but I wouldn't go on one. Right?
And then I guess in some cases not far away, there's a cemetery or a burial place.
Oh, okay.
Almost always in the area where the stairs are located, someone has disappeared.
Oof.
The stairs are never at the offshoots of the vegetation zone, but always in the center, several miles away from towns. Everyone speaks of an unnatural sense of anguish and oppression when approaching them, to the point that only a few daredevils had the audacity to climb them.
Did those daredevils ever return?
Yeah, I guess some of them have
Oh,
returned.
okay, okay.
But there's about to be a story here.
Because I feel like that's how you disappear, is you climb the stairs.
One man tells something that happened to him personally when he worked as an infectious disease expert in the U.S. government healthcare agency. It was 1940, shortly after the famous Roswell accident, and there had been cases of mutilated animals. During the 6 months of research in the area, many stairs were sighted that seemed to move at night where they had previously been, and the area appeared to be burned.
Interesting.
So when I saw that, then I'm like, well, is this fucking aliens?
Yeah, I was
Is
gonna
this
say, is it
aliens then?
aliens?
Because that would make
Okay,
sense
but
too.
like, who's
Because
to
then it
say?
could see. This is where I went. I was like,
Okay.
okay, so if there's an alien, then they have the ability to mask and hide the mothership,
Yes.
the ships or whatever.
Yes.
So what if they cloak the mothership, get these stairs, and hoping that someone were to walk up in onto these stairs and just keep walking and get into the mothership.
Oh, interesting.
You know, just like
Yeah.
it's a way for someone.
I've never thought about those being connected with aliens before, but it makes sense.
Neither did I until I was reading this article, and then I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it makes sense.
because then I'm like, because that would make sense because it's a stairway, because then they don't have to like.
And then they have willing participants in their studies.
Yeah, and
The
then
human
they're
race.
able, and clearly they have technology to where they can like make the appearance of like if there's like walking or whatever,
Mhm.
or like to erase time and like all of
Yeah,
that. They have the
yeah.
ability to do that.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm like, oh, maybe it's just this is like one of their tricks so that they don't have to like do the whole little beam of light thing. They decide to use the staircase, and
Yeah.
maybe they start using other methods. Is because the staircase one, because they're doing it in the middle of freaking woods, it's not attracting a lot of people. You know,
Well, who's to say too that fairies are not aliens?
they can be a type of alien for sure,
Right.
but I don't know why they want to come here. I still
Yeah.
don't understand.
Yeah.
That. But yeah, there's also testimonies from outside the states. For example, from the Philippines.
Oh boy.
One man says he was fired from his job.
Okay.
Listen,
Oh gosh.
as a forester for being absent for several years while
What?
he was on reconnaissance. He says he climbed a ladder that he found in the thick of the woods to escape a stray dog with a threatening air. In his opinion, only a few minutes had passed when he went down again. In truth, 5 years had passed.
What? Time is a construct, folks.
But like, how weird.
That's so bizarre.
He was like, it's only a few minutes. A stray dog was chasing me. It was only a few minutes. I climbed this random ladder I found.
Why am I thinking of like the Marvel universe when like everyone returns from the snap?
I didn't even think about that when I was listening to this. That's funny. That's funny.
I don't know why that made me think of that.
But like, yeah, though, like
That's so weird.
It's like I was only gone for a few minutes. Like I
Yeah.
was,
Well,
no, dude, you were gone for 5 years. Like
that's
what?
upsetting too, because that's like 5 years of his life that he just like missed out on.
Yeah. That's also why I'm thinking aliens, because because I've heard of other alien,
Hmm.
abductions where people like, or like people who have like, well, no, this one's different because there's people that have like gotten amnesia and
Hmm.
have wandered
Okay,
for
yeah.
like years,
Yeah, yeah,
and then all of a sudden just wake up one day, remember who they are, then they're somewhere different,
yeah.
and they've been missing.
Yeah. I've
But
heard of
this is
stories
just
like that
like
too.
he was in the same spot. And he never like not remember what he was doing.
Right. He was there the whole
He was in
time.
the same spot the whole time. So that's why I'm like, oh, aliens were sitting there doing whatever
That's so weird.
and took 5 years of his life.
Yeah. That's
And
so weird.
also, I think we're looking into this one too because it's like, what happened when you just strolled on back in clean clothes?
Yeah, the same clothes you wore when you were missing that are still like,
The same size.
yeah, they're
You
not
didn't,
worn at all.
right?
That's so weird.
Still
That's
shaven
so
or
weird.
whatever, like
Yeah. Dude, there's so much we don't
This
know.
this world, this galaxy is vast,
Oh, yes. Even just the planet.
vast. Yeah,
Like, I don't know why we're exploring space. There's still so much we don't know about our own planet here.
yeah, like the trenches.
Yeah. Well, even the ocean.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like it's so much, and it's just like, which
yeah.
I got another thing that I'm gonna do about the ocean and aliens, but
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, aliens live in the ocean for sure.
100%,
100%.
100%. But I do think now looking into this, the stairs in the forest,
Yeah.
probably aliens.
Aliens?
I'm almost
Yeah.
convinced that they're aliens because it's like,
I'd believe that.
and also because why also when they would be moved, there would be burn marks.
Yeah, that's weird. It's really weird.
Unless it was.
You know what? It'd be interesting to do a deep dive into Roswell. Because
I
that's
plan on it. Uh
fascinating.
huh.
Oof.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
We want a road trip this summer. We
Ooh.
might have to drive
Fun,
through
fun.
Roswell.
Fun, fun. Oh, yes.
And
Love it.
like in Sweden, two young men found a solitary ladder, decided to climb it. One of them felt his shoulder touched and turned, thinking it was his companion, but the ladder was too far away to have touched him. The touch, he says, was icy. Another story tells of a woman who was on the ladder who suddenly fell dead.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the report spoke of a brain aneurysm.
That's creepy.
I think alien was trying to get into her brain
Yeah.
and messed up and killed her
Mm-hmm.
on accident.
Mm-hmm.
For that, climbing a random ladder.
Mm-hmm. Ew. Don't like that.
So you can't trust any staircase or a ladder
Oh, I don't trust him anyway.
that pops up.
Because, like I said, my thinking before all this was that it was fairies, which you never trust fairies. They're cool, but you don't trust them.
Not at all. Never trust a fairy.
That's like, no, you don't do that.
Right, but also it's just like, it's crazy. Like,
That's weird.
this world is so crazy.
It definitely is.
So crazy.
It's frustrating too that I feel like so much stuff is just kind of written off as like, oh, people are crazy. But it's like, no, I think there's a lot more that we don't know. Like, yes,
There
there
is
are a
so
lot
much
of
that we don't know. And
like, yes, there are a lot of crazy people out there, but like just because science right now says that that can't exist doesn't mean that it doesn't exist because science changes the more we learn about it. Not that it changes, but you know what, the more we learn about it, the more vast. What am I thinking of? Like I mean, COVID is a good example
the
of
more we
that.
learn about, the more questions we have.
Not necessarily what I'm thinking, but like
Oh, okay.
so like with COVID, right? They told
Uh-huh.
us to wear masks. That was science telling us that, right?
Uh-huh.
But then science found out, oh, that actually didn't do much.
Yeah.
Like, the more we learn about it, things change.
Yeah.
Not that they change, but we just learn it.
We learn something new, something different.
Like we could make educated guesses saying like wear a mask. That's a good educated guess.
Yes.
But then also science disproved that.
Right.
So like I think a lot of our educated guesses are wrong.
Yeah. I mean that's the whole point of science, that you make an educated guess and hypothesis.
And you test it.
And you test it. You have the variables. You test it out.
Yep.
And then you get an official, scientifically proven answer.
Yes.
That's, but we have yet to even.
I just think there's so much.
We have
more that
so
we don't
much.
know. And we think we know everything. Look. That's why a lot of these people are written off as crazy, because we think we know everything, and that goes against what we know. But
if you things I keep telling this to people, because people are like, "Oh, I'm the smartest person in the room here," and I said that's the problem.
Yep.
When you think you are the smartest person in the room, that makes you the dumbest person in the room.
Well, as soon as you're
because then then that means you have closed your mind to anyone else's thoughts and opinions in this room and how it could differ from yours, and then you're not learning anything new.
Exactly.
And you can't move forward. Exactly. That makes you the dumbest person in the world.
Yeah, as soon as you're certain about something, you're done learning.
Yeah.
Which, like, you can never be done learning. There's always
something
more.
New to learn.
Always.
And so it's just...
Even what you're certain of can change.
Right.
Yeah. Don't mind me, I'm just peeling off my nails.
Oh, okay. But it's like, that's the crazy point. It's like, you can be as certain as you want. Until scientists has proven that is what is going on.
Well, even things that are proven by science can not necessarily change, but it doesn't mean that other things can't exist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can change though.
I don't think it necessarily changes. I think what we know about it changes.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm trying to think of a good... Like, I mean, like, with the masks, again.
Yeah.
It didn't change, but what we knew about it changed.
Yeah.
Right?
And people still chose to wear them.
Right.
Because it did 100% stop a spread.
It does help, right?
It helps.
It does.
It helps.
Yeah.
But it's not 100%.
Right.
Nothing can be 100%.
Right.
Except for airplanes.
I don't think it helped as much as they
wanted
thought
to.
it would.
Yeah. Much as they wanted it to, yeah.
Yes, as much as what we knew at the time said it would.
Yeah.
So
that's why we're still
right.
Global pandemic.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying though, is
never
like,
heard
see,
because
it did, but like it did help. So
it did help.
That science was wrong.
No,
it's just that other things can also be factors.
Right.
Like yeah,
other things can be right.
Yes.
There's not one certain right thing in this world.
Exactly. Yes.
And
there's
people
no
have
black and white.
And people have a hard time.
Because listen, everything has to be one or the other, right? And that's not the way the world is.
Mm-mm.
Like there's no such thing as one or the other.
Right.
Like every single opposite has something in between them.
Yeah.
Every single one. So like, I don't know.
Right. Welcome to our TED Talk.
Yes.
But then people think that also the stairs in the woods there are those who speak of aliens or portals to another dimension or even to hell.
Oh, why? Okay, interesting. That kind of goes against a lot of beliefs though, because the stairs go up, right?
Exactly. But like I said, but if you were to go up and not go into anywhere because aliens didn't want you or whatever, or if it's not even an alien one, it's a spiritual one,
nothing, right? So
exactly, we could go back down, and then if it wasn't a spiritual one, if it was like a bad one, then you boop 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 boop, gone.
Yep.
And then there are those who say that the stairs are used as unholy pulpits. Pulpits. Pulpits.
Okay.
For satanic rituals.
Yep, sure, why not?
All agree that they are located in places that emanate an open energy.
Because why not bring Satan into this? Yep.
Always.
Always.
And people who don't know, I am dyslexic. I cannot do words
You're
half the
doing
time.
good.
I do my best.
You're doing great.
Okay. But, and so, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one, though, it being used for satanic rituals.
Yeah, I don't really believe that.
Because if there is, even for satanic rituals, you don't want the feeling of dread or anguish or oppression when you're trying to do a ritual.
That's true.
You need the most amount of energy and open space to get put towards the ritual.
Okay.
And not be, because you don't want to be distracted.
Right.
By what you're feeling, because you have to put your energy towards. So I don't think, because if you do go by these stairs and you just feel dread and anguish, then it makes no sense.
But that's how a lot of those rituals can go bad, right? It's like if you're feeling emotions and you can't control them.
Yeah, and they're bad. And then things are going to go wrong. Yeah.
I mean, it could be that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying. But also, there's multiple stories of these staircases, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different types of staircases and ladders and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So who's to say it's all the same thing?
I don't think it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't. So I do think that there is some of it where it's like a phenomenon, or where like you've been walking in the woods for far too long and your brain isn't stimulated enough.
Yes.
And it needs to give you something to be stimulated about, to either whatever. Or I do think it is sometimes can.
Oh, you were right there.
Something like got in my eye, and these were like all of a sudden, and so I had to like just.
I was just like, okay, is she being attacked by a demon? What's going on?
No. So like I do think that like some of it is like somebody aliens or like fairy like I do think imagination,
satanic ritual.
It can be so many different things, but I really do think that it a big portion of them, because they do just kind of come up and go all the time.
Yeah.
And aren't usually in like the same spot. It's like something to do with like aliens. No, you can't like just go looking for it. Right. You have to like they just pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But what if it's also people from tell us.
The Lemurians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who can get to that fifth vibration.
Yep.
What if it's them too?
Exactly. Could be.
Like, you don't.
And that's what's kind of scary about them, right? Is you don't know.
You know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
You know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
Whether it's demonic or aliens or fairies or or telos.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Siri.
Abduction by aliens.
Is that what it searched?
Abduction by aliens.
That's funny.
Stories from Denmark, Iceland, Norway, Sweden return to D.L. Ashman folk texts, a library of folk texts, folklore, fairy tales, and mythology.
Interesting.
Okay, Siri, mind your business, because no one talking to you.
We weren't talking to you.
Rude.
Thanks for joining the conversation.
Oh, God. So, like, it's all a very weird thing to me.
It is very weird.
Because, like, you can't study it.
Right. There's no information out there.
Right. And no matter, you can't, but you can go walk in the woods every day off the beaten path and hope to see it.
Yeah.
So you can go up and get, like, samples or something.
But then also, if you're walking in the woods hoping to find the staircase, you don't know what kind of staircase it's going to be.
Right.
Like, that's,
And then do you really want to feel that dread and anguish and oppression when you're walking up towards it to try and get a sample?
That makes me feel, too, that, like, they're targeting specific people.
Oh, 100%.
Right? So 100%. It's like, you're not going to find it unless they want you to find it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You need to be the chosen one.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yep.
And especially if you're sitting there like, oh, I want to find it, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well,
you're probably not going to find it.
You're probably not going to find it. But then if you were to find it, then you're probably not going to get what you wanted, because you're sitting, you're saying, "Oh, I want it, I want it, I want it." They're gonna get annoyed with you, saying,
Yeah.
"Show me." You know, if you're sitting there into the abyss, you're like, "I want to see a staircase." They're gonna get annoyed with you,
Mhm.
and they're gonna give you a not so good one.
Mhm.
And then what?
Mhm.
And then what?
And then you're dumb for going on
Right,
that
because then you're
staircase.
because you are gonna be the dummy that goes up. I'm gonna go walk on it. I need to get
Yeah.
samples
Nope. I'm gonna stay away from those staircases. Thank you very much.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that makes no sense to me.
I don't understand the logic either. And like finding a random staircase and being like, oh, we're gonna climb that. Like,
It's a very teenage
like
boy thing to do.
I get a sense of adventure. I do, but also, what?
It looked weird
Okay.
from this point of view.
Sure, cool. Like I get having a sense of adventure, but at the same time, that's just like
But with them
that's
saying
not
that
adventure. That's
it's
like,
not adventure, and then with them saying that like people who have walked up towards them just feel dread, anguish, and oppression. Why would that put kicks in your fight and flight? And if you're gonna fight a staircase,
yeah.
that's a lose situation for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna flight.
Yep.
I'm gonna
flighting.
fly away.
I'm flighting.
Exactly. I'm gonna fly away. Absolutely not.
Yep.
Like I said, I don't run. But if you see me running,
There's,
you better join along because there's nothing good is coming from behind me
there's
right
a
now.
problem.
You better come running along with me.
Oh,
Because what
gosh.
that is not good.
No.
Not good at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It is. Huh. Yeah, I would not climb a staircase, I don't think, if I saw one.
And then in some cases, they think that they may be ancient remains of those who moved their steps on this earth before us. Perhaps they are an echo of what once was and has passed away, leaving little trace of itself. They are the memory of a distant time when our ancestors endured difficulties that can be barely imagined, leaving behind little evidence of their existence, only a few staircases in the woods and a few faded tombstones.
So it's like a ghost house type of thing.
Something.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting.
But then I also read somewhere that like possibly, maybe, excuse me, that possibly, maybe, like, what am I trying to say?
You read somewhere that possibly maybe. That's, I don't know, that's all, that's as far as you got.
ADHD people.
Yep, I feel that.
Oh, that there was a part of, like, our history that, like, we had this superior technology.
Well, of course.
Like, well, of course, yeah, because, like, the pyramids and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The superior technology, and, like, none of that technology exists anymore. And now we're trying to get back there.
Yeah. No, I believe that.
And so,
like, even with Atlantis and Lemuria.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're finding proof now that Atlantis actually did exist.
And I knew that. From the movie. Since the movie. Atlantis.
Like the cartoon movie?
Yes.
Yes, I love that movie.
Yes. It's on Disney Plus.
Yes. Oh, that was a good one.
That was a good one. I need to watch that with my kids. But like I knew Atlantis was real.
Oh yeah.
I knew it.
It makes sense.
I
don't
knew
know
it.
why it makes sense.
And then I also knew
it
because I know that stuff that can happen, like Pompeii. That was a real civilization that got covered in ash.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what else got covered in ash and then vegetation grew on top of it? Well,
and if you think too about the technology that they had, like who's to say they didn't sink themselves? Well, you know, like if they had all this
Cleopatra's castle.
I haven't heard of that one.
If I remember, I watched this like a long time. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but like they think where her castle was and where it stood is actually now underwater outside of Cairo,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
It's under the water because they found vases, they found building,
Oh,
building
interesting.
structure
Yeah.
under the water. And they believe that that is where Cleopatra's tomb is, and that's where her castle was, and
Yeah.
all of that.
Oh,
And that's
fascinating.
why they can't find her.
Yeah, no, there's, I think, a lot of like ancient history that has been lost to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, even like the Library of Alexandria,
Yeah.
I think is fascinating. But, like,
What's the Library of Alexandria?
oh, the Library of Alexandria is a ancient library. It was like, I think, the first library that
Oh.
had like the entire world's knowledge, and it burned. So, like, people say we like started over from that point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of legends about it too. People say it's buried in the desert somewhere, and like there's very interesting legends about it. But I do believe there was a point in our history where we just lost
Everything.
everything. Yes.
Because of the...
And it could have been like the downfall of Atlantis.
Yeah.
But like I think we started over as cavemen, right?
Because we had to. Because we
Right.
lost everything.
Right.
Everyone that knew technology and knew everything died in
Right.
whatever happened, whether it was
Yes.
a volcanic explosion, an asteroid hit the world and hit and and caused the climate change, would cause people to die, cause crops to die, and only a few who had to survive off of their friends made it through.
Well, and I also like the theory too that we're aliens.
Oh yeah, there's that theory
Right?
too.
I like that theory. I think that checks
that.
out. Because look how destructive we are to the planet. Like, we're not supposed to be here. You know, like...
Not all of us are destructive to the planet.
That's true, but I think humanity as a whole is.
We're very selfish.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, even, like, just, like, my backyard is now being built into apartment buildings.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't we just have land?
I know.
Like
where my husband grew up.
I feel bad. We used to have foxes back here.
Where my husband grew up,
yeah.
When he first moved there, they were considered in the country.
Okay.
When he first moved there, he was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Something like that is when they moved there. And it was all prairie land, nothing around. Like, literally, it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then now it's huge neighborhoods. What left of the prairie land was there is now being built up into these cookie cutter homes.
Yeah.
And all of the stuff. He's like, this used to be all prairie. I would ride my bike through here. I'm just like, that's awful.
That's sad. Well, it makes me a little bit worried too because all the farmland is being bought out. Like, I mean, we're already at a point now where like 90% of what we eat is not natural food.
Yeah.
And we're just getting further and further away from that because there's no farmland left.
Which is why we buy the way we do. Yeah. Because, like, we get a lot, like, because my in-laws live in the country now. Okay. So they know a lot of people. So, like, we get our meat from one of my in-laws' friends. And his is all grass-fed, non-GMO, all that stuff. And then we also shop if your family wanted to. There's this guy, a farm not far from here. Okay. And he sells all locally sourced meat, honey, soaps, all that stuff. And then my mother-in-law and father-in-law and us as well are doing a huge garden at their house to get produce and stuff. Yeah. So like we do a lot of we're getting away from a lot of that. Yeah.
Because so much of it, like all of our food is grown in a lab now. It's like that can't really be
and it's
healthy.
Actually very bad for men too. Yeah. And women, because a lot of stuff now has a lot of estrogen in it. And too much estrogen for women can cause cervical cancer.
Well, it's all just like chemically altered.
Yeah.
It's like, how did we think this was like a good idea?
Because they were trying to do it for less.
Right. They're trying to make more money.
Make bigger things with less water, less time, It's like it grows faster. It can be rotated. It's annoying because it's like, I'd rather have really good fresh food when it's the season of the year to have it. Yeah. It'll still be more expensive, but I know it's going to be natural and it's not.
It's going to be better for you.
Yeah. And if you don't want to wait or you don't want to fight with people, grow your own. We are more than capable here in Minnesota.
Oh, I can't grow anything.
Okay. Not everyone's a green thumb. but like more than capable of growing our own stuff. Like get the tomato hangers,
Yeah.
grow
Yeah.
tomatoes, you know,
Mhm.
grow some potatoes. It's really not that weird.
Yeah. No, I definitely think we are our own worst enemies in a lot of the things that we do, and it's
100%,
frustrating
100%.
because the people in power do it to make more money, and the way they do it is very detrimental, I think, to our future.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, this is way off topic now.
It's not really off topic though, because it's like it's all around because we're like we don't know everything.
True.
Everything
Yes.
is, and then how did these because we're talking about possibly the stairs being from civilization that had technology better than we have
Mhm.
now, and everyone dying, and then
Yes.
doing things probably not how they did it before,
Right. Yeah.
and all these lost.
Well, if you think about it too, it can just be like the same kind of cycle over and over again. Like once we reach the same level we were at before, we'll lose it all.
Do you think so?
Maybe. I mean, this planet is hanging on by a thread, I feel like.
I really don't think that it is though.
You don't think it is?
No, I don't.
I don't think the actual planet is. I think the
But we're
inhabitability
also,
of it is.
but we're also still technically in an ice age.
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that.
Oh yeah, look into that because we're technically
Okay.
still in an ice age, and we're actually supposed to have a more tropical climate
Ew, I don't like tropical
throughout
climate.
the
Ick.
That's why the water. That's why you hear about that river in California that's taken over a whole county because they built their county and their town on a dried up riverbed.
And now it's like a real river.
So it's dried up riverbed that they built dams up to diverge the water
Okay.
to irrigate
Yeah.
farmlands.
Okay.
Dried up this huge lake that's been dried up for I think since the 1920s or 40s.
Okay.
And has been dried up since. And they built a whole community, everything, farmland, all this stuff. Well, now with all this snow that happened on top of one of the mountains out in California, it's all melting.
Yeah.
And then plus with like the rain and stuff, it's
So the
still,
floodgates
it's
open in school and
people are flooded out.
Yeah.
Roads are covered. The lake is back.
That doesn't surprise
And
me.
I guess the last time a giant flood happened, it took 2 years for it to dry out.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Well, also we're done by continuously building stuff because there's nowhere for the water to go when it does like rain and snow melts. It's
Yeah.
like, you realize you need the earth to soak that up.
Yeah.
Like stop building. That's actually what my dad used to do for a living was like either decline or accept building permits based on like where the water can go if yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so there are people who like do that job, but like
Good.
also with all the flooding we have, I feel like because a lot of the times like
And we're not even
people
at peak.
higher up,
We're not even at peak flood yet.
but like a lot of times he would have to fight with people like higher up,
Yeah.
being like, no, you can't build this because this, and they'd be like, no, we're gonna ignore that. So like there are people who job it
Where
is
they're
to say, like,
trying their
don't build
best.
this, right? And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can't do anything about it, but hey.
Here we are.
Here
All
we
we
are.
can do is just.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Also,
as the
don't get me
time
started
goes.
on these stupid apartment buildings. It's supposed to be affordable housing. Don't even get me started on that.
What's affordable housing?
Exactly.
I'm trying to find a place to rent for the past 6 months.
Well, a studio apartment for $1,200. I'm like, that's not affordable, first of all. Second of all, that's all they're building are affordable housing apartments. Like, everywhere.
So they're just cheap with high rent. Cheap apartments with high rent.
Yes, basically. Cheap to build. And yeah. I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's like, how's about we build tiny apartments for the homeless? Hey, there's an idea.
That is one.
Who was it? I was talking to someone about that the other day. I don't remember who it was. But they were saying that they were reading up on something. It was like an idea that someone had to build tiny apartments for homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like a ton of research saying how it would help society and all this and all that, and how, like, I don't know, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But we don't do enough to help our citizens ever. I say we. I have no power in
There's a
that.
housing crisis.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. We're in the middle of a giant shift, and it's just going to continue probably throughout my lifetime.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a really
like,
weird...
I can't imagine, like, these kids in this newer generation.
We live in a really...
Because they're going to be so well adjusted because literally every single year is so drastically different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... We'll see. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was my beginning discussion.
I liked it.
Of the stairs.
That was interesting.
Staircase in the woods.
Fascinating.
I will come back at some point. Deep dive into a few of these.
Sweet.
Because
I look forward to it. That's fun. I like that. Even though it's crazy.
And y'all got us on a tangent. So.
Oh yeah, we went off. That happens. Yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't happened as often, to be honest.
You know, because we both have had like lots of just like a very strict storyline.
Yes.
With all of our topics. That's why today
true.
I was like, I'm gonna do an open discussion one, because we haven't had an open discussion. It's been storyline.
Yeah.
So open discussion one, just to see how we like it.
Yeah. No, that was fun. I liked that. Nice little change. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, fun.
It wasn't so spooky.
No, I enjoyed that. Mine was a little spookier this week. Yours wasn't that.
It was
spooky.
very fascinating to me.
We kind of flopped.
We flip-flopped this week.
Flopped.
I can't guarantee for next week, but
neither can I. We'll see. I don't even know how I pick these topics. They kind of just
they just kind of come to
pop
me.
out.
And I literally will go to look for something to watch on TV.
See,
and then it pops up, or like I'll be watching something, and they'll talk about something, and I'll be like, "That's what I'm doing."
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't remember how I came up with the topic for this week, which was execution rocks. But because I have like a few things that I have like written down that I'm like, oh, maybe I can talk about this. Maybe I can talk about this. And I haven't talked about any of that yet. And that was like before we started our podcast. I kind of wrote down things like that I could maybe talk about. Haven't talked about any of that. Just like randomly stuff will come to me and I'll be like, yep, we're going to do this.
When you first brought it up to me, I also had like a list of it I was going to do. I have not yet touched this. Besides the first episode. Okay. Which was finding hauntings in Minnesota.
Hauntings in Minnesota.
Besides that.
Yeah.
I was going to do like Skinwalker. I was going to do a bunch of other stuff. And I'm just.
Well, because there's a few things, too, that I've written down that I've, like, tried to do research on, and there's just, like, not
a lot of information.
Yeah, so it's hard to find stuff to, like, fill a whole hour.
Yeah, there's not a lot of information out of a lot of this paranormal, unexplained, all that.
Yeah, but it's interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff out there.
Oh,
this has been fun.
It's been a fun one.
It's been real fun.
Real fun.
Join us next week.
Now she's back to the 1920s. Here we go.